Well, we're on the west coast of Mallorca. I actually forget what the name of the place. What's the name of the place? We're here to witness the meeting of the stones of the land and the forces of the sea, and experience the never-ending change that is this meeting of the two. This is typical from what we've seen across the island. We've shot some stuff of this already, but this is more removed from, you know, where this rock kind of forms like this. It's more removed here. So where you see this forming is down in the ocean. It's down there, right directly against the waves. And what it is essentially is you have this rock, this conglomerate rock, which is formed through the pressurized process of bringing all these different elements together, different types of rocks together. And then there's small fissures that run through the rock. And where the face of the rock ends, which is quite typically near the sea, when we're not too far from the sea here, water moves through the rock, pulling with it the elements and the minerals, which you can see here. I mean, this is quartz just there. But you might think that this is quartz too, but lots of this, what it actually is it's these minerals which have kind of been leached through the rock, and they cover the quartz and they form this kind of like this pattern here, and then you see it's chipped back. And then at some point this large boulder has basically just been moved up here. All these tiny rocks here, they've all moved around, and then they've all got together, got a big party together, formed this big old rock, which is part of another bigger rock, which is very cool. And then at some point they've broken apart. Here's his mate over here, he's fucking chilling there. At some point they've broken apart, and they've formed these other rocks, and they've been moved to another spot. So this whole different kind of path that all these little fellas have been on. And I do think that these rocks tell a story of themselves. They've moved around. It's a story of the rocks, but it's a story of our history. And when we touch them and we interact with them, we're touching and interacting with this ancient past of the world. And I think that's what I really love about rocks. That's what I really love about rocks, is that. So yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like, look, I'll just talk about the shit that I can't, like, just endlessly talk, no, unfortunately. So we cut here.
Keep going,
yeah. I mean, look, I'll just
Tell me about the project.
I'll just give you a nod.
Tell me about the project. What's the idea behind this project?
Okay. So, in my experience of Mallorca so far, it's unique in that it has an incredibly varied geological makeup. You have all these different types of rock, like for instance here we've got this, which is really actually just a dry stone wall again, because we're around lots of houses and humans really, so that's all we've got at this point. But it's very varied geologically, and there's a whole fascinating story to be explored. There's the story of how the different types of rocks interact with each other, the igneous rocks interacting with the sedimentary rocks, layering and folding each other and forming caves through erosion. This is a wall. So with these walls here, you might notice. No, don't worry about it.
How's that wall make you feel, Jim?
I feel like there might be somebody trapped inside that wall. I love these little huts that have been built across the island. They're storing like fucking flotation devices for boats, nets for the fishermen. There's no fishermen around though, and the boats themselves. Small boat though, no? we get down there though? I love these little huts that have been built across the island. They're storing, what are they storing? Like fucking flotation devices for boats, nets for the fishermen. There's no fishermen around though, and the boats themselves. Small boat though, no? So a beautiful example here of where the rocks of the land meet the sea. The sea's never-ending barrage against these huge rocks here. The waves shaping the island. They're brute force, wave on wave, boom! Another one coming in, boom! Relentless. These cliffs slowly cascading into the sea, carrying with them all the different types of rocks, plant matter, steadily pulling them into the ocean, cascading down, bringing nutrients. So many different types of rock. This is like almost like Mallorca in a nutshell. We've got this kind of dark, granity, mixed with quartz, igneous, sedimentary, moving through here. Then we've got this conglomerate rock actually, and through to here, these lines, these different strata of rock that come down. And we're even met with a bit of this iron-rich rock here, which you can actually turn into paint, which we did the other day, didn't we? Yes.
Show it to me once more. That rock you're holding in your hand. Whoa, too close. Back a bit. So good. There you go. Turned it into paint.
Yeah, you can turn it into paint. Bit of seawater, grind it up. On the face, happy days.
Show me how much you love these rocks, Jim.
I love these rocks a lot.
Touch the three that you suggested before again.
This one here, this one here, this one here. Oh, we've got fossils. Look, fossils, fossilized shells. Look, these shells have been buried in this rock. Look at that. Now that is a story. That's a real story. The story of previous life. These were alive in terms of most people's opinion on life. Rocks might be alive too. Beautiful. Not many places right next to the ocean, you got these quartz formations. Whoa! Oh, matey! Well, we're on the west coast of Mallorca. I actually forget what the name of the place. Right, Will.
Sorry, babe.
That one. Split this one off.
Alright, let's do one. Burger time. Right, I'm ready, man. I'm roly.
Yeah. We'll chat about future locations at the next one. You could just go with a beer, you know. A crisp beer.
Yeah, pick up the rubbish, isn't it?
Crisp beer. That's
Good look. Why do that, Rob?
Well, rocks are our gateway to the past.
Why is the past important?
Past gives us context for where we are today and who we are and why we are potentially.
Dude.
Well,
So what brought you to this film idea, Jim?
I don't know if it was entirely me that... look, I've just been inspired since being in Mallorca, really. Because, I mean, there's something special about the place, but it just has such varied geology across the island, all different types of rock, and there's a real story that can be told through this geology, I think, in their interactions with each other and how man has interacted with the geology and how that's affected the history of the island as well. So I just really want to explore that and explore that with you guys. Basically, I think there's something to be had here. So I'm excited. How was that? All right. Did you get some good stuff, Xavier?
Yeah. Very nice.
Watch out for
Is it bird?
So, you know, I guess, you know, that's one type of story. As it, well, the movement of minerals through rock, the movement of rocks themselves, and then the movement of rocks from one place to another. So all these tiny rocks here, they've all moved around, and then they've all got together, got a big party together, formed this big old rock, which is part of another bigger rock, which is very cool. And then at some point they've broken apart. Here's his mate over here, he's fucking chilling there. At some point they've broken apart, and they've formed these other rocks, and they've been moved to another spot. So this whole different kind of path that all these little fellas have been on. And I do think that these rocks tell a story of themselves. They've moved around, and it's a story of the rocks, but it's a story of our history. And when we touch them, when we interact with them, we're touching and interacting with this ancient past of the world. And I think that's what I really love about rocks. That's what I really love about rocks, is that.